VoyMonk video voiceover Friday. First Friday, 2025. And I warned you. It's going to be a week of first. You're going to be hearing about that now, probably for until I think Wednesday, because it'll be a first of everything. Something that I actually did mention last time that I was talking about doing this video voice channel, the channel, is that I wanted to mention the times that I do these video voiceovers are generally going to be anywhere from 20, 25, maybe 30 minutes. It could get over than that, but rarely. These are going to be different than the voice vlogs because for the most part, they'll go into content that either has to do with subjects or issues, not necessarily issues, but things that I want to more elaborate on than I think can fit appropriately in the 5-10 minute mark, which would be a vlog. And so, like I said, for that, it's going to be anywhere from, I'm going to say probably about 15 to 30 minutes, anywhere there. I guess there could be some that are much, much longer, but I think at that point, if there's something that I'm really passionate about, which there might be, that I would probably save for a radio show, which I plan on doing like an hour of, like I said, when that starts. And but that's the difference between video voiceovers and video voiceover vlogs or vlogs and that kind of thing. So I wanted to make sure that was clarified again. I've made mention at different periodic times when I do content for the channel, different updates, and I'll definitely put it on the channel itself. I'm just getting used to and learning that. So yeah, so just a kind of heads up, I didn't mention that. As far as the content itself is concerned, as far as what I talk about, I generally try to keep it light, humor, life stuff that happens. The vlogs are going to be the more personal. And video voiceovers can be personal as well in terms of my life and that kind of thing. But usually it's kind of like my daily routine of what's going on and things that I might comment on. Certain things that I don't really talk about, I think, are pretty much evident at this point. And if you don't know, you listen to enough of these, you'll kind of get a gist of what I'm here for. Like I said, and that's community, doing vlogging and talking about passions and loves that I have. Star Trek, different shows, entertainment, food. Definitely would like to talk about food. I'm not a foodie. There will be none of that foodie stuff. I am not a cook. I do not know how to cook. I don't know how to skydive or parasail or any of those other things. You won't be seeing those types of things. I will not be probably doing my breakfast as a way of saying, "Lee, look at me." I will not be doing that. I could possibly put something on that I make in terms of, because I want to get better at cooking, do some cooking. But for me, I'm literally looking at the ideas I have for doing into the cooking is like rice, putting in some cream of mushroom soup or something like that. Yeah, so that's the kind of cooking that I'm looking to do. I like to eat. I like to eat too much. That's my problem. My weight problems. I can't wait to eat. No, I'm just kidding. I can't remember what the heck that is from, but yeah, that is my problem. So eating healthier. I guess I'll just preface this in terms of my Friday and talking about going in to this new year. I want to learn how to do just kind of the bare minimum of the basics, because yes, I'm really that terrible. I've basically leaned in probably a lot, like most people, into probably fast food and quick things and that kind of stuff or whatever. And there's a lot of reasons for that. I don't have a lot of money. I'm poor. I'm very limited in the means to which I have. And so with that being said, I can cook, obviously, eggs or something like that. But When I talk about cooking, I mean in terms of not only for first and foremost nutrition and health. That's why my goal is to learn cooking and how to better cook, but also to make it pleasurable. Because let's face it, when you're trying to lose weight and you're trying to eat healthier, I think no matter what people say about, well, you should try these non-fat cookies, and they taste almost as almost as good as the ones that are not good for you. I think it was Lewis Black that said, if it's not good for you, it obviously is going to be the what tastes better, right? Um, I mean, not specifically, but Lewis Black is one of my favorite comedians, and he talks about that. It's like if it's the water that's not good for you, that's going to be the tasty stuff. And growing up, in my experience with cooking and eating, mostly eating, that's usually been the case. So, and I think the funniest stuff is sometimes when you're watching some of these shows where someone will come, they'll say, "I'm going to make a non-fat, glucose-free, cherry pie," and then of course they'll have like a host on there taste it. It's like, if you're like me and you read people in terms of body language, and I'm no expert, but try to gauge what's really happening as opposed to what they may be expressing or saying. It's just like, yeah. you can almost see the squinting and the grimacing of the eyebrow when people are saying, that tastes interesting, which is basically another way of saying there's no way, unless I was on camera, I would be eating this. So, but yeah, I think, eating right and eating healthier, I guess there really doesn't seem that there's any, too many shortcuts, but I guess the way that I've kind of broken it down is that there are foods that I'll eat, and then there's foods that I won't eat. And I try to keep it as simple and realistic as possible, because I'm not going to put myself up to saying, well, I'm going to eat a bowl of oatmeal every single day. Just using that as an example, learn how to make oats and make it healthier and all that kind of stuff. And the truth of the matter is, I'm not going to be eating any of that. I mean, maybe I do, but if it's not something that I can incorporate in a natural way in terms of what I'll actually do, then I'm not going to do it. My emphasis is, and I know people say what you want to do is you just want to stay away from the processed foods. And it's just like, but everything is a process. I mean, going to the store, picking up groceries and coming home, I mean, that's a process. I mean, it's not naturally growing into my house, I mean, if I'm going to go completely natural, I mean, I could just eat the dirt off the grass, right? The grass. I mean, that's completely natural. I didn't do anything to it. It comes from nature. Or I think there's one group that believed or followed you can consume sun rays in a photosynthesis type of way from the sun, and it's just like, it's natural, right? I mean, how many calories are you gonna lose just absorbing the sun? I don't know, but so like I said, there's things that you can do. There's ideas, but then there's the reality of those ideas, and that's what it really comes down to for me, right? So, no, like I said, I'm not going to be doing anything complicated. For me, I just rice. I think this week I'm going to focus on cooking rice and the different ways to do that. I'm not really necessarily too jazzed about what I've learned about rice, which I would honestly say that the thing about eating processed foods and quick foods is that you oftentimes just don't have to think about it, right? You never have to really care pretty much about what goes goes into it, therefore what goes into your mouth. And I know it's ignorant. I'm stupid, and I probably, that's certainly a bigger part of the problem of why my health isn't where I want it to be at all. But yeah, like I said, it's a big part of it is the psychological. So if, like I said, my goal is this week rice, just cooking rice. I want to find a kind of rice that even if it's just white rice, a rice that I can get that's obviously safe to eat, that I can produce and make some meal. So rice and chicken, although probably maybe not chicken, because I don't know if these prices do not go down. Yeah, chicken has exploded in price. And if there's anything going in this 2025, I'm probably looking as most forward in terms of personal. I'm kind of wondering what's going to happen with price, because if you paid attention with this whole thing, I kind of want to blame Popeyes because I don't know what happened. It's like some years back, Popeyes had come out with this chicken sandwich that was all the rave, and it was something that was so popular they actually ran out. And if you know what I'm talking about, you'll probably remember there were stories about it all over the news. People were just going insane for these chicken sandwiches, and it must have been successful in a lot of ways, because they put it on the menu permanently, so you can get that same chicken sandwich everyone was kind of going crazy about now. But the truth of the matter is that it really didn't make much sense. I mean, KFC had a chicken sandwich. I mean, McDonald's had a chicken sandwich. I mean, chicken sandwiches were not a new thing at the time that they came out with this. And I tried the chicken sandwich. I don't know exactly what was supposed to be so good about it. I mean, it certainly wasn't worth stabbing someone, which unfortunately happened somewhere in the United States. It wasn't good. It wasn't that great. I mean, it wasn't worth standing in line around the building. And maybe that was just my experience at the KFC that we had, but not KFC, but the Popeyes we had. I say KFC, the Popeyes we had, but yeah, it wasn't that great. I liked the fact that the price point was really much better than I kind of expected for all the hype. But then it was after that, it seemed like everyone else kind of followed suit. I don't want to say Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A has always kind of been associated with people's loves and fascination with their chicken and that. But yeah, it was after that, and obviously the pandemic probably had as much or more to do with a lot of things. But yeah, chickens just exploded in price, and inflation applied towards everything, especially after the pandemic. But I remember like going to Blondie's in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, and watching the WWE pay-per-view matches, and you could get like 25 cents a wing, the bone-in wings, at out there and stuff while you watched. And it's just like, I mean, this was probably maybe towards the end of the 90s, early 2000s. And it's like now, I mean, some of these places have got to the point where they're selling wings for like $1 a wing, and there's no meat on them in any capacity. And so the whole point is that, like, as a chicken has kind of exploded, but the thing is I don't necessarily say it has to do with the economy or any specific thing. I just think marketing must have had a real big impact on people's changing from I mean, chicken sandwiches aren't a new phenomenon, but for some reason, it just kicked it up in overdrive in terms of people's appetite and people being, baited into going for chicken sandwiches. And now, like I said, there are places where chicken is a lot more reasonable if you cook it and make it yourself, which is what I want to do. But yeah, it's expensive, and of course, if you go with the whole hormone free, GMO free, and all that kind of stuff, that is probably something that I'm not really too concerned with. I care more about it being safe to eat from listeria or E. coli than anything else. I don't care if it's organic or not. But I do want it to be something that's fresh enough that I can cook it. And so that is going to be my focus on this first Friday of 2025, and what I want to do going into this next week. And I'll probably do some video vlogs about it in terms of what I find and that kind of thing. And I had said that I won't be doing much video until I get a camera, but one of the things I would like to do as I'm getting more successful, if I get to a point where my cooking is to the point where I could share it with all of you, it won't be to say, well, look at what I'm making and you can't what I'm having for dinner, because you probably might likely not care for the most part. But if there's other people like me that are going into this year and saying, yeah, I want to lose weight, I want to start doing as simple as possible, I'll share. I'll show what the results are from my ventures into keeping meals simple, not processed, and taking baby steps, as Bob in What About Bob would say. So yeah, that is my aim this Friday, the first Friday of 2025. Hopefully, it's not too much of a letdown, but this we got a whole year to go now yet. So hopefully, people are where they want to be. They know where they want to be, and hopefully, you're successful in anything you want to do and love and that sort of thing. And so until next time, hopefully out there, everyone that's listening, take care.